Hi everyone, Kimba from Angel Readings by Kimba here. Welcome to another hour of fun-filled mediumship, psychic abilities, and collaboration with spirit. So let's get started. And I did want to give a shout out to D. Devlin Benin Haley. You have scored a free reading with me because you shared our post the most with regards to tonight's, tonight's podcast. So I do want to let you know, sorry, that D. Devlin Benin Haley, you have scored a 15-minute free reading with me. Hi, Carrie Ann Murphy. How are you? How's your week been? I know here in Philly, we are just going through storms like there's no tomorrow, so it's crazy. So let's get started. Little bit of dashboard material. We hear all the time. I'm always encouraging people to ask me any questions that you want to know about me, or any questions about mediumship, psychic abilities. I'm certainly more than willing and ready and available to open the Pandora's box and help answer any questions, because it's a gift that we all have, and it should never be treated as something that only certain people have. So the first question I kind of want to start with is, Jane in Washington, D.C. asked me, what is my favorite color? And I have to say, hi, Eddie, how are you? My favorite color is, I'd say it's a toss-up between pink and purple. I just love pink and purple. So Jane in Washington, D.C., pink and purple, there you have it. Carl in Mississippi asked me, and I thought this was a very interesting question, do I need to be certified in order to be a medium? That in itself is interesting, because depending upon who you talk to, certain mediums will tell you, yes, you have to be certified. Other mediums will tell you, no, you don't. My thinking is this. I'm more of a neutral, like Switzerland type of person. I feel if you're going to be in the position of teaching, such as Arthur Findlay College is in the United Kingdom, and it's notorious for mediumship school of abilities, and you want to go that route of being a teacher or an ordained minister, a spiritualist minister, yeah, I do think you do need some sort of certification. However, for me, in my life where I'm at today, I feel reading cards, I don't need the certifications, or I don't need the validation, so to speak, of certifications to justify who I am as a medium. So I do think it's a very personal call. I do also think you have to be careful, because there are some people out there who will tell you, study under me, I'm going to give you a certification, but they really don't have any credentials. So it is one of those catch-22s. Some people use it as a moneymaker, some people don't. I personally feel, for me, and I speak for myself, I use my integrity and my ethics and my reviews on Angel Readings by Kimba, my Facebook page, as my gauge in terms of my credibility. But I also have a rapport with spirit. We call, in the mediumship world, we call our angels or our guides spirit. And I'm confident with my rapport with spirit that I don't feel I need the validation of certifications or paper, so to speak, to validate my existence as a medium. But if I do ever decide to become an ordained minister, I do think certifications are necessary. So for Carl in Mississippi, I hope that answered your question. I do feel, and I do want to clarify, that I'm not downing anyone who feels certifications are necessary. There are people who like to get certifications and they feel more secure with having them under their belt, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, be careful that you don't lose your gift by just getting certification after certification after certification when you're validating yourself because you already have it, if that makes any sense. Let me just stop a minute before I go to the third question and say hello to some people. Hi, B. Hi, Sue. Hi, Carrie Ann Murphy. You've been practicing the I choose mantra. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you for the feedback. That's wonderful because that gives the spirit realm no room to say, what does she mean? So I'm really proud of you, Carrie. That's wonderful. And I think you're going to find things are going to manifest a lot quicker in your life because you're actually telling the universe, I choose or I choose not. So there's no in between. Good for you, girlfriend. Hi, Victoria Rose. The third question that I have is from Juno in Anchorage, Alaska. And they ask, what's the difference between a medium and a psychic? Growing up, I always went to psychics. And they always said to me, you have the gift. And I never knew what that meant. So I'm going to break that down for you. Everybody, every one of us is born with that birthright. We're born either of the mediumship side of the house or the psychic side of the house. So a medium is someone who can connect very easily and well to those that have passed on. A medium is someone who usually is intuitive of those that have passed on, and they can feel them, smell them, picture them in their mind, and describe them to a T without ever meeting them or seeing any photos of them. That's a medium. A medium can also bring up phrases and songs that this person loved when they were on the earthly plane. Signs of a medium would be someone who can wake up in the morning and smell grandmom's cooking for a flash second, and then the smell goes away. Signs of a medium would be someone who can look at a friend and all of a sudden feel the presence of an aunt and know it's an aunt that's passed away and know it's connected to their friend who's on this earthly plane. That's the signs of a medium. A psychic is someone who is very intuitive, who can, on a bigger scale, but in a different way, predict the future, predict events, predict situations, and outcomes. So a psychic is someone who usually I usually go to because they're the ones that are like, hey, Kimba, take a different road home today, or hey, Kimba, I think you're going to have a problem with your supervisor today. Psychics are naturally born intuitive people with that gut feeling, and they just listen to it from the get-go. You're either one or the other. It's rare that a person is both. Most mediums are also psychic. It's rare that a psychic is also a medium. It doesn't mean, though, you can't develop that side of the house. And the analogy I always give people is, do you remember when we were in elementary school and you were either really good at math or really good at art? That's the same analogy I want to give you in terms of if you're a medium or a psychic. You either can pick up very well on the spirit world, or you can pick up really well on the psychic realm. And once you know what side of the house you are, boom, you just work on the other side of the house. So I know, and I'm told, that I'm a stronger medium. So I develop my psychic side of the house by throwing tarot cards, by playing with Ouija boards, by consulting the crystal ball. And I've just recently started looking up how to do tea leaf readings. So that's how you develop your psychic side. And then as we started talking in the first few weeks, we started doing this about keeping a notebook by your bedside. And when you wake up in the morning, you write down 3 and 4 things that you think are going to happen that day. This is how you develop that psychic side. You have a partner. Could be anybody. Could be your lover. Could be your friend. Could be a family member. And you think of a number between 1 and 10, and you try to mentally telepathy pass that number to them, okay? That's another way of developing the psychic side of the house. To develop the meditation side of the house for the medium, we sit in meditation and we invite the angel to come forward, and that's a whole different hour we're going to talk about, but a little bit of a difference between the two. So I hope that answered your question. So I want you to think about that between now and the next time we get together, because I want you to be able to tell me the next time we get together what you think you are. Do you think you're a medium, or do you think you're a psychic? Or do you think you're both? Okay? So let me just stop and say hi to a few people. Hi, Sue. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Pinky Smith. Eddie. Oh, yes, thank you. All the videos that we do, by the way, we've thrown up on YouTube. So if perchance you've missed any videos, don't panic. It's okay. They're all on YouTube. So we're going to continue learning and our journey together. I'm going to learn from you. You're going to learn from me, because I don't want you to ever walk away and say, oh God, she's a medium and it's a big secret, and oh God, I can only go to her for readings only. No, I want you to walk away feeling like, hey, I'm a more spiritual person because I'm friends with Kimba. I think that's what this life is all about. Okay? Hey, Chris. Hey, Bonnie. And let's just do a couple of dashboard items, and then we're going to jump into our readings for tonight, okay? The first thing I want to address is, I'm so sorry, with the humidity here. They were saying on the news today in Philadelphia, the humidity is off the charts. I find my asthma is really working up. Anyone, I don't know if you've noticed, but on Facebook, they keep changing stuff around. So anyone who is a top fan under the Angel Readings by Kimba page, I'm going to start on the sly notifying you via private message, because I want to honor my top fans and start giving back. So if I inbox you, please pay attention. It's my way of reaching out to you to say, hey, you've been following me. I've noticed you're one of my top fans. I'd like to give you a free 15-minute reading. So don't be surprised. It's not a scam. I don't want anything in return. It's my way of thanking you in gratitude. I do believe in giving back. And those of you that have known me since we started this whole thing in 2017, every December, from December 1st to December 31st, I do free readings. I have a reading a day. So get ready, because come December, I think last year in November, we opened up our Facebook thing and said, hey, we're booking for December. We were booked out in 2 days, flat. So I'm blessed. But the top fans, if I reach out to you, it's not a scam. I want nothing in return. It's my way of repaying you. With love from me to you. And D. Devlin Benenhaley, if you are listening, I don't think I saw your name. I noticed I had said earlier today, if anyone shares this post about tonight's podcast the most, you're going to get something. Well, D. Devlin Benenhaley, you've scored a 15-minute reading with me. Okay, the other parts is we're just going to refresh real fast. 7 things you need to stop saying immediately. Boom, 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 stop saying. I wish, I want, I could, I hope, I try, I need, I desire. Why? Because they're passive. And the universe is like, what are they saying? It's passive, and more importantly, it's open-ended. It makes no sense. Okay, so what you need to say, be clear and concise, drop the mic. I choose or I choose not. Because this way there's no wiggle room for the universe, and the universe is like, well, damn, they're basically saying they choose or they choose not. Damn, we have no choice here. And the universe actually likes that, because they want to work with us. They want to give us the desires of our hearts, but they can't if we're kind of saying, we think, we want, we should, we could, because the universe is like, what the hell are they saying now? Okay? Phoenixville Psychic Fair is September 7th. I will be there. If you love psychics, if you love mediums, tarot card readers, tea leaf readers, palm readers, this is the place you want to be. It's in Phoenixville. It's from 10 to 5, Main and Bridge Streets. I will be there with a booth. I will have a couple of my managers with me because I won't be able to take, I don't want to say orders. I'm trying to think of the right word. I won't be able to take people in line. So I'll have a couple people with me, keeping people in line. So as I'm finished one reading, the next person comes right and sits down with me. Okay? So this is the Phoenixville Psychic Fair. Any questions you have, come see me. And if you don't want a reading, come see me anyway. It's always fun just to have people say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I follow you on Facebook. It's fun. The other one is October 6th, and this is the annual Media, Food, and Craft Festival. I did this 2 years ago, and we had so much fun doing this. This is also from 9 to 5. It's the whole State Street and Media. I will also have a booth, same thing. I'll have a couple people helping me out, probably my manager, and it'll be one of those things where he'll take your name and number, and if you want to skedaddle down State Street, he will text you and say, be back in 5 minutes, because Kimba will be done in 5. And that's how it usually works, and it just keeps the line moving. I think at the Media Food Festival, I'd have to ask my manager. I think I read, I can't remember if it was 23 people or 32. It was something crazy, but it was fun. It was a great day. Everyone was blessed. I was blessed. Hi, Emily. Hi, Gina. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sue. Now, you know me. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes. And if you have any questions, by the way, feel free to jump in and ask me, because I'm always approachable to any questions that you might have. I did have someone stop me on the street and ask me if I was afraid of the spirit world. And my rebuttal was no, I'm more afraid of humans, because when I worked at the University of Albuquerque, because I used to live in New Mexico for a while, we had just patched up a gangbanger, and another gangbanger came through the doors to finish him off in the emergency room. So I'm more afraid of people because you don't know what people are going to do, whereas the spirit world, I find if you set limits with them, I've never had a problem with them. I think sometimes people and movies and media like to make the spirit world this big, dark entity that's just horrific and satanic and whatever else. But I feel if you're made of light, protected by light, and you have your belief system of God and what you believe in, I don't think the negative will come near you. Just my beliefs. I haven't experienced it. Hi, Bertha. Hi, Virginia. And hi, Wes. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm going to skedaddle back to the top, as I always do, and see who has the first question for me. Carrie Ann Murphy, I want to go back to you because you said that you've been using the mantra, you choose versus choose not. So I'm going to start with you. And I feel led to flip an angel card for you, which I think is fantastic. And I hope that's okay for you. But Carrie Ann, I also want to say, you know, the summer's almost over. I feel like you're going to be going away again. So if you haven't gone away yet, I feel like you're going away like the end of August. So for Carrie Ann Murphy, if you could just verify if you're going away, I feel like you're going away by August. And you're asking me if I feel tired after I do the online readings. I do. I do feel tired because there is so much energy that I'm switching and adapting and bouncing. I usually refer to it as like a cell phone tower. I'm pinging off of different people's energies. So it does drain me, but it's all good. So for Carrie Ann Murphy, the card I pulled for you from the angel deck is balance. And what I love about this is this tells me you've got it going on. Do we all have good days and bad days? Absolutely. I'd be lying to you if I told you, you know, the hills are alive and everything's perfect. But what I love about this is that you've got it going on, girl. Like when you have bad days, you're the type of person that pulls back and really assesses the situation. And that tells me balance is in harmony with you. Not everybody's like that. Namely me. Like when shit goes down with me, I tend to freak out and react first. This is telling me that you're balanced. You tend to kind of assess the situation and think things through, which is good. And then you react. So for Carrie, I think that's phenomenal. And I think for you, I'm feeling a really strong connection with your grandmom. Mother's mother. I want to clarify that. Mother's mother. So Carrie Ann Murphy, mother's mother, your grandmom's with you. And I feel like you're very much her personality. I don't want to say it skipped your mother because you are your mother's daughter. But I do feel like your grandmother is so proud of you. And she watches out for you. Now I'm shuffling the cards again this week because last week I shuffled the cards and we had so many cards that kept popping up. Abundance and friends and Kathy Dennis Moore. Hello, how are you? You would love a card, absolutely. I'm going to start with an angel card for you and then I'm going to throw a tarot on it. And just a reminder, angel cards are all about angels are ethereal angels, spirits around us, those that have passed on. But for Kathy Dennis Moore, I want to address, I had to almost like look down for a quick second under my glasses because I thought it was my cat Zeus. And if he comes back in here, I'm going to pull him up so you all can see him. He's beautiful. Kathy, do you have a cat that had passed over in spirit? Because I feel like there was a cat that keeps tangling around my feet, and that was like his way of saying, hey, I need to be addressed. So before I go any further, I would be a really shitty medium if I didn't address him. This cat is taking me back to your childhood. I want to go back to almost, I want to say like 4 to 8 years of age. So if Kathy Dennis Moore, if you could validate that for me, this kitty cat is just coming through so strong. So with that being said, the angel card I pulled for you is answered prayer. You go, girl. So whatever you've been praying about, whatever has been on your mind, on your heart, on your soul, I want you to know your angels are attacking it for you. And the thing I love about angels is people only pray to angels when they're sick. Why is that? Angels are at our disposal 24/7. I'm a big Eagles fan, so no disrespect to anyone who loves the Cowboys or the Patriots. We're all football fans in my mind. I always tell people we have a football team of angels behind us, and it starts with our grandmom, our grandfathers, our aunts, our uncles. Sometimes it's our brothers or sisters that have passed on. But my point being is that because we've got this football team and then it goes back a lineage, a generation or two, we've got tons of people at our disposal. Angels are a lot like people. So for instance, if I was going to move and I said, hey, I'm moving, could you help me move? You would have the right to say to me, I'm busy that weekend, no. Or you could say, yeah, I'm free that weekend, I could help you move. Same thing with angels. They're not automatically just going to intervene just because we're beautiful earth people. They need to hear us ask for assistance. Then they'll jump in for us willingly. So keep that in mind, your answered prayer. Whatever you've been praying about on your heart, and I feel like it's almost health issues, health related, I feel like it's going to be okay. I'm not a doctor. I always joke, I pretend to be one because I'm a nurse. Sometimes we like to joke we know more than doctors. I'm just kidding, I jest. But I do feel like it's going to be okay. And this card tells me right here that the angels are already assessing and attacking whatever it is that's been on your mind. The tarot card I want to throw on top of that is the sun. We also call this, interestingly enough, the engagement card. Engagement, because it usually is the sign of an engagement coming forth, an engagement that's pending, and or you are engaged. I'm not sure which. So for Kathy Dennis Moore, could you verify for us, are you engaged? Have you been engaged? Or is there an engagement on the horizon? if there isn't an engagement on the horizon specifically with you, could this be something you've been praying about? I don't know about you, but I pray for my soulmate all the time. And I use my mantra. I choose a soulmate that I know is already here on this earth. Boom, drop the mic. I just told the universe, thank you, I know he's here. See how I made that manifest? If you could just verify that for us, that would be great. I'm going to scroll down and see if you've answered. Nope, not yet. Okay, so we're going to keep moving. D. Devlin Haley, you just joined. Welcome and thank you. You missed what I said earlier, which was earlier today when I posted about doing this podcast, the person who shares the most gets something from me. D, you've scored a free 15-minute reading from me. So when I posted earlier today about today's podcast, and please unshare your shares so we can see who's sharing the most, it was you. So D. Devlin Haley, if I inbox you, please don't think it's somebody else. It is me. And we've got a free 15-minute reading. I want to get my hands on you. Oh, that didn't sound right. But you know what I mean. In a good way. I want to bless you. I'm silly, aren't I? Life is about being fun, I think. So, and plus I used to work with Dee, so Dee knows me really well. She knows that we work really well together. Pinky Smith. Yes, of course I can pull a card for you. Interestingly enough, I feel as though, and I'm going to scroll down, correct me if I'm wrong, Pinky Smith, I feel like you kind of want to know more about your future. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, because I'm leaning towards going towards the tarot cards. If I'm wrong, just let me know and I'll flip to the angel cards. But I feel like there's a lot of questions about your job, predominantly, that are taking place with your question about the cards. And D, yes, I'm reading your thing about you. Do you want me to read it out loud? I don't know if you want me to read your question out loud, D. But yes, I do, D. D. Devlin Haley, yes to your question. Okay, now I'm going to flip back to our girlfriend here, Pinky Smith, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords women I love, and I feel like this has to do with your job. I'm going to stick with that. These women are no-nonsense women. They're usually teachers, lawyers, psychologists. They're usually teachers or people in positions of power. Why do I say power? Because look at her. She's got her hand out where she's basically saying, come forward, but she's got that sword. That sword kind of scares me because I'm afraid if I say the wrong answer, boom, there goes my neck. No, in all fairness, that's not what that means. But basically, this type of woman is the type of woman you want to work for. She's loyal, she's honest, she's got integrity and ethics. 4 major things you want when you're working under a woman. Because let's face it, women can either have their crap together and know how to run a business, or women can be really catty. Am I right? I mean, am I right? So with this, I feel like Pinky Smith, there's a job on the horizon and or your current job, and this woman you're working under, this woman is above you. Let me turn the card this way. This woman's above you. I feel like she gives you a lot of guidance and direction, and I feel like it's a good thing because I feel like right now it's what you need. She's kind of helping you learn the ropes to further your career, if that makes any sense. So, Pinky Smith, if you could validate that for me, that would help me out. Oh, you said yes. Yes! Thank you so much for that validation. I really appreciate that. But before I go any further, I do need to address your grandmom, Pinky. This is still for Pinky because I almost want to cry. Sorry, I'm smelling my essential oils in my hands so I don't cry. I feel like your grandmom, father's mother, is here, and one of the things she used to do was like rub your face. And if you were sitting across from me, if I was reading you, I would ask if I could cup your cheeks because I feel like that was something your grandmom, father's mother did. And it was such a gesture of love. Um, I feel like she was gentle, but she was small. I'm 5'3", so I feel like for me to call another woman small, I feel like she was like 4'9" is what she's showing me. So if you could validate that for me, Pinky, but there's so much love with her that before I move on to the next person, I've got to say, your grandmom, your Nona, your Nana, I'm not quite sure what she's saying. It's not Nana, like I know the word Nana. Nona is Italian. She's saying something else that I'm not quite sure, but it's like that. But it's not that, if that makes any sense. It's like Nona, it's like Nana, but it's neither of them. She's coming through so strong, and I have to address that before I move on because it wouldn't be fair to her. And I do believe our angels come first over cards. That's just me. I'm sorry. So I'm going to skip back up and see who I missed. Debbie Miska Beck. Mishka. Am I saying that right? Beck. I want to flip a card for you. Debbie Mishka Beck. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. I want to flip a tarot card because as soon as I saw your name earlier, I immediately saw move, the word move. And when I saw the word move, my first thought was, oh, she's moving. And then it was like the angels were like, no, move, like physical move. Like, best way I can describe it, I have arthritis, like that type of move. There's something going on with you and your body. Does that make sense? Please verify that for me because I don't know, and I'm going to caveat, I don't know what moving your body has to do with you. I don't know if they're saying you need more exercise, because like when I'm pinging off the angels saying, does she need more exercise, or what do you mean by move? They're not answering me. They're like, haha, joke's on you, Kimba. Get Debbie to answer you. So I'm like, okay. So Debbie, if you could validate for me what the angels mean by move, because I initially thought it meant move like locations, like a house move, a residence move, a job move. They're like, no, this has to do with moving your hands, moving your arms, moving your body, but I don't understand what that means. And the only example I can give you is I have arthritis. They're ruling out right now rheumatoid arthritis. So in the mornings when I get up, I have to go through this whole range of motion with my hands and my arms because they're so stiff. That's what I mean by move. So I want to go back to Debbie Mishka Beck. If you could validate anything along those lines about move, that would help me out. And the card that I'm going to throw for you is the Six of Cups. This, interestingly enough, has to do with puppy love, reunions, people coming back into your life. Now, I'm still on Debbie Mishka Beck. So if you could validate any of this, pretty soon I feel like you're going to run into someone from your past. Could be an old boyfriend who is just kind of looking to come back in for maybe a second chance. You can make that decision yourself. If you were to ask me, I always say the past is the past, but I don't know your connection that you had with him. This is also what we call the reunion card. Sorry. So this could also mean you have a high school reunion coming up. And I feel like 2020 is what they're showing me. Fast and Furious, 2020. Debbie. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for validating that. Your back has been hurting and you're trying to get up and move more. Thank you. Okay, that's why they're saying move, because I'm thinking, have I lost my marbles? You know, okay, thank you. Perfect. I know this is going to sound weird, but walking helps too. I had, long story, but I had some herniated discs, and as painful as that sounds, walking strengthens the lower back muscles and the butt muscles. Just something to ask your doctor about and see if it's okay. But I'll keep you in my prayers because there's nothing like back pain. It changes you. So Debbie Mishkabek, you are in for puppy love, a reunion, and or something's coming up where someone's coming back into your life. And this could even be like a friend that you run into from high school. And I'm going to say it's going to happen, like, if not this weekend, by Monday at the very latest. Hi, Francis Rodriguez. Thank you for joining. Virginia Diaz. Oh, it's your first time. How are you? I'm so glad that you joined. Thank you so much. Trinidad Alicia, thank you so much for joining. I'm thrilled that you're back again. Virginia Diaz, I'm going to start with an angel card for you because I feel led that the angels want to tell you something. I have to ask you, before I even start with the cards, what is it about you and insects? And when I say insects specifically, I don't know what it is. So I'm going to best guess, and this is me talking. Grasshoppers or crickets? Do you have a fascination with them? I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if it's almost like a flying grasshopper is what I'm seeing. So for Virginia Diaz, if you could validate what these insects mean to you, whether you love them or it's significant to someone who passed, I'm seeing something like a flying grasshopper, and it's kind of like freaking me out. So I feel like this is something significant to someone that's passed with you. Angel cards. Manifestation. What I always say, you think it, you believe it, and it's going to come true. Positive thinking is the way to go. If you say 10 times over again, oh, that'll never happen to me because I'm not worthy, it's never going to happen. But if you say and shoot for the stars, I'm going to get that. It will happen. I always say to people, change your thinking, kind of like we did here. I choose not, because you have no wiggle room. Change your thinking with this as well. Start thanking your angels as if you already have it. Does that make sense? And the example I give people is this. I'm currently looking for my soulmate. So what do? I tell my angels, thank you that my soulmate is already here on this earth. Thank you that he's already alive and well. Thank you that I haven't met him yet, but I know he's right around the corner. And that's like a joke I love having with my kids is I'll say, hey guys, guess what? My soulmate's right around the corner. Why? Because that's positive thinking, and I'm throwing out to the universe by not leaving any open-ended sentences. I know he's coming. He's right around the corner, and I know he's here. Thank you. I already have him. Same thing. So with you, whatever it is that's on your heart and mind that you want so bad, it's coming. It's coming, because I feel like by me even telling this story of changing your thinking, you've already done this. It's like, I want to say you've already done this. I needed to tell this story so everyone else knows how to say to the universe what they want so they can get it, if that makes any sense. So for manifestation, when you want something, it's about telling the universe, I want this, but it's also about saying, thank you, I already have it. It's just a matter of time of sitting back and waiting for it. I often tell people, tell the universe what you want and then sit back and expect it to happen. Because it's true. You know, if you're single, your soulmate's on this earth. You just haven't met yet, right? So don't say, oh, I don't know when I'm going to meet him. That's so open-ended. He's already here, for God's sakes. Say, he's already here. He's alive. Thank God for that. It's just a matter of time for us meeting. Okay? So you're already ahead of the game, girlfriend, with this card. And let me know about insects specifically. Best guess is I'm going to say that this grasshopper thing that flies, because It could even be a locust. You know how some locusts out west fly and jump on the ground? It could even be something like that, but there's a fascination or something that has to do with you. And I believe it's tied to a family member that died. So whenever you see these, and I might be using the wrong name for the insect, I'm calling it locust and or grasshopper. It is this family member coming back to say hello to you. Okay, Sherry Maddle, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. Of course I can pick a card for you. I'm going to start with you with tarot because I feel like with you, the biggest question is love. Second only to and rivaled by finances. Two biggest questions most of us have, right? Well, you know love is already here. So this is for Sherry Maddle. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and see what Sherry says. We're going to talk about tarot with you. Okay, this card is the Five of Swords. Five of Swords isn't bad. A lot of mediums, when they read swords, they're like, oh, swords is bad. It's all heavy. It's all emotional. It is. But it's also about learning. It's about karmic lessons. It's also about what you've gained. This tells me, and I'm pulling my pen. Okay. This tells me here, somebody thinks they got away with stuff that was yours. And I believe this was a past boyfriend. But see, here you are in the background walking away because you're like, yeah, I don't need all that. I don't need that baggage. I don't need that crap that he thought he was giving me. He thinks he's getting away with everything. He's really not because there's two swords on the ground. So take that as it may. You've learned from that lesson. You've learned from that relationship, that guy that you thought was your king, but you suddenly realized he wasn't a king in the court. He was a jester. And, you know, it's okay. We've all been there. I mean, I'd be lying if I told you I didn't make my own mistakes in picking the wrong men. And it's not that the men were wrong or bad. They just weren't right for me. And that's the analogy I want to give you. This guy wasn't right for you. He was good while it lasted, but when it was over, it was over. Does that make sense? I'm going to scroll down and see if I can see your response. So it's not a bad thing, but I feel like when I pull another card, this is the new guy that's coming on the horizon. He's a hard worker. He's involved in a lot of projects. This also tells me he's quick-witted, he's funny, but he also knows how to get his stuff done. He's organized. I'm not so sure this guy was organized. This guy was more about looks, being pretty, having outward appearances. Does that make sense? This guy is all about good looks, good appearances, but also what you see is what you get. And I like this guy because, as I've always said, pentacles are not about witchcraft. Sorry, guys. Pentacles are about money, the Benjamins, what we're making. So this guy knows how to make money. He knows how to make money and he knows how to keep money. But right now he's doing a lot of projects. This also tells me too, he's probably either in the supervisory position, project manager position. He's in the upper echelon because as you can see by all the pentacles here, here's like all the people he has to manage. So that's a good card. He's coming. He's right around the corner for you, girlfriend. And when it happens, hit me up and DM me because I love love, and I love when people make that connection. So please keep us posted. I'm going to scroll back up to the top because I do like to try to hit people that I haven't read before to keep it fair and balanced. Liz Wheeler, I don't think I've read you before. So I'm looking at Liz Wheeler. You would like a reading? Of course. Liz, I have to ask you, did you have, this is going to sound weird, so bear with me, a sister-like person pass? cross over. This is for Liz Wheeler. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to see if Liz Wheeler responds. Sorry, my lips are so dry. So for Liz Wheeler, my question is, did you have a sister-like person that crossed over? Because I feel like there's someone right over my shoulder, and I have to address this before I touch the cards. Very good friend, yes, thank you. She was like a sister, and she comes across so strong as a sister that I have to bring her through before I even touch my cards, because like I said, I will always honor the angels first. Cards are secondary for me. I'm a medium first. She wants you to know she's sorry. And it's like when I'm pinging off of her why, she's sorry she went when she did because she felt it was too soon, if that makes any sense. And she felt like you and her were in the middle of a project and she didn't get to finish it with you. And that was her regret. She felt that death came too soon. So I want you to know that religion, modern sentiment, tells us heaven is way up there, hell is way down there. I want to assure you, heaven and hell are right here on earth, because I wouldn't be able to pull her forward if she was 20 million miles away in the sky. It's impossible, virtually impossible. So I want you to know, Liz, she's with you. She's around you 24/7. I'm sorry, I have to shift my weight again. When I was in Arizona back in May, I think I told you all, I slipped on one of the rocks. I thought I was being smart and standing on one of the rocks doing one of these at the Grand Canyon, and I slipped, and I'm still a little sore. So for Liz, I do want you to know that this girlfriend, for better lack of words, I'm going to call her a sister because she's referencing herself stronger and thicker than a sister. She wants you to know she's sorry, but she's with you 24/7. And she recognizes that you talk to her and that, thank you. I just got goose chills. I just got goosebumps. That when you're in, this is going to sound weird, so bear with me. When you're taking a shower, that's kind of like when you download your information, okay, and when you think of her the most. So, and it's not creepy, it's just, we as women, let's face it, taking a shower is like a luxury if you have families. You know, can I get an amen from all the women, you know, who are watching this podcast? I don't know about you, but when I take a shower, I mean, that's the time I connect to my angels, because it's like the only time my kids aren't up my butt, you know, or the only time someone isn't like, Mom, can you do this? Can you do that? It's the only time I'm like, okay, angels, hit me up. Tell me everything I need to know right now. And I feel like that's when you're the most reflective of what could have, should have, would have with this woman. And she wants you to know she's with you all the time. And thank you. She wants to acknowledge your new hair. So Liz, for whatever it is, whatever you did to your hair that's new, and she's referencing almost like a style or a cut, she likes it. Oh my God, you saw me shuffle the cards. Answer prayer. So this is for you, Liz Wheeler. I'm still with you, okay? Answer prayer. So whatever it is you're praying about, the angels are attacking it. They're on it. They're addressing it for you. Give it to your angels. You know, there's enough worries that we have in each day that we don't need to take that crap to bed with us. So hand it over to your angels and expect results. That's what I always say. Delegate. Don't be afraid to delegate to your angels. Archangel Michael, you're the angel of protection. Handle this shit. I curse a lot. And I apologize to those of you that don't like me cursing. I learned it in the operating room. When stuff goes really well in the operating room, it goes really well. But when shit goes down, it goes bad. So I apologize for my potty mouth, but I think that's kind of what keeps me real. So in this particular case, I want you to know, pass it over to your angels, let them handle it. It will be okay, but it will take some time. I see whatever is on your mind is more, they're showing me family, and as soon as they say that, they're shutting down on me because it's not my business. It will be resolved in about 6 months. Now I'm going to shuffle these cards again. So, Liz Wheeler, I want to bless you and encourage you and let you know it's going to be okay. Okay? I do want to go back up here because I thought I saw, I know I saw an Eddie Roush up here, but I saw, I saw, hi Suzanne Q Fury DeFazio, thank you for joining. Carolyn Kemmerer Middleton, thank you for joining. Oh, I have to stop. Hang on, wait a minute. I just saw his name. I just saw his name. Where did it go? I don't know. He must have just gone off. Because there was a guy here, and I wanted to ask him if he wanted me to read him. Because we don't often get guys, and I think it's fantastical when there's a guy that joins. Anyway, so let's go back to, I want to go back to Caroline Kemmerer Middleton. Welcome. You've been on my mind, girlfriend. For those of you that don't know, Caroline and I go back about 4 or 5 years. Caroline is a Shih Tzu breeder. So for those of you that know Cooper, my dog, my hospice dog, my service dog, Caroline is his original mommy. She is a breeder of dogs. But Caroline, I want to read you because you've been on my mind. Okay, the card I'm doing tarot because I want to know what's going on with you. I pulled the King of Wands. King of Wands is all about artistic men, artsy men, sporty men, men who are creative. This is someone who's coming into your life. This is someone not who you have already. This is someone who's coming. And I feel like this is also someone who is work-related, someone who's in the workforce, someone who is eyeing you up. You are aware of him. And I feel like this guy could pretty much offer you a promotion. So keep your eyes on this guy. Very nice men. I want to tell you something else about them. When you look at the wand here, oh, I'm on the other side. When you look at the wand, wands are all about entrepreneur, business, growth, building things together. This is the type of guy you want in your court. So if wherever you're working right now, Caroline, I feel like this is the guy that could rocket you into the next position. And as soon as I say that, I'm hearing district manager. So with that being said, I want to pull an angel card and I get friendship. So your two girlfriends, and I say two because here's you in the middle, your two girlfriends have been a godsend during this whole time period in which you needed them. And I'm not going to say out loud what that was for because it's none of my business. But I think you know what I'm getting at with that. So when this guy steps forward, you'll know because I feel like you're in transition right now, as we all are. And by the way, Mercury's in retrograde, our bad boy Mercury. So until I think August 2nd, you will find electronics will go wonky, communications will go haywire. It's not really the best time to sign contracts and legal papers, but you know, a lot of mediums will say, oh, this is such a bad time to do everything. I look at it as a time of, this is the time to kind of really peel your layers back and start doing your self-introspection and letting go of shit and saying, where can I improve? And let's face it, if your computer goes down, it's going to go down, whether you want it to or not. So it doesn't matter if Mercury's in retrograde or not. What you can do is use the energies to your advantage. So since I do Reiki and I do bioenergy, I'm always a big advocate of, yeah, you can sit there and say, Mercury's in retrograde. Oh my, what am I going to do? Or you can be like, I'm going to snap that bitch back into orbit. You know? I mean, come on, we have plenty of energies we can throw back. And that's what this time period should be about. Okay? Christopher Roth, yes, you are a guy. And I do want to read you. I want to get my hands on you. Christopher Roth, first thing I want to address. I want to say, first and foremost, is your dad living? So this is for Christopher Roth. And I apologize, I'm scrolling down for those of you that are wondering what I'm doing so I can read his response. Because as mediums and psychics, we look for what we call validation. I'm not looking for him to give me a full-on answer, but I am looking for just a simple yes or no. And I'll explain why in a second. So for Chris Roth, can you validate for me, is your dad living? And while he's doing that, I'm going to pull some tarot cards for him because I feel like while he's thinking about that answer, I feel like there's going to be a job transfer coming up for him. Almost like, I feel like something completely different. Like completely different. So Chris Roth, is your dad living? And of course my mouse is stuck. Yes, he's living. Okay. The reason why I ask that, for those of you that are new to me and those that would be like, why is she asking that? As mediums, we can connect with people who are living, alive, on 4 planes. If they're drug addicts and or drunks, if they're terminal and or on hospice, if they're in a coma, and or if they have dementia. They're the only 4 ways I can connect with someone on this earthly plane if they're alive today. So I always like to do someone the service of asking, is your father alive? So Chris verified that his father is living. My next thing I do want to say to you, Chris, is that your dad is so incredibly proud of you, and that whatever, and I say this carefully because as you all know who've been read by me, I'm an open book. My family is a great example. Families can be so complicated. So whatever happened between you and your dad, whenever it happened, it's over because your dad admires you. But I do believe part of his generation can't tell you how much he loves you, if that makes any sense. I believe as he's gotten older, he's been able to express a little bit more as he's aged. He cares about you. But let's face it, we're children. We need to hear to the day they die, they love us. And whatever that break was, whatever that split was between you two, and I feel like it was more just the butting of the heads, the difference of opinion, just the not seeing eye to eye, and that's okay. Families are like that. I feel like he regrets that because I feel like he is so proud of you and so proud of who you are, but I feel like that is one of his deepest regrets, but because of his pride, his ego, his super ego, his id, he cannot tell you this. His throat chakra is blocked. Okay, does that make sense? If that makes any sense, let me know. This blue, I'm over here. This light blue, okay, I'm just gonna point this way. This light blue chakra is the throat chakra. So when that is blocked, people kind of get mind fucked where they want to tell you what they think, but they can't because they can't form the words. And it was like the day my dad died. I kept saying to him, Dad, there's so much I want to say, I just can't get the words out. And that's where your dad is at today, Chris. But he loves you immensely. Hi, Valerie Negro, how are you? Now, Chris, the card, as I started to say, before I went into this about your dad, before I go again on a different tirade, if I were to look at you, a picture of you in your 20s and a picture of your dad's dad, this would be your grandfather. You two are spitting images. I feel like you look like your dad, yes, but I feel like it kind of skipped your dad and you look exactly like your grandfather. So if you can, try to find a picture of your grandfather in his 20s and a picture of you in your 20s, and you guys would look like father and son. I'm just throwing that out with love from me to you. Yeah, you and your grandfather are spitting images. The card I pulled for you is Page of Wands. This again is about traveling. It's about jobs. It's about entrepreneurship. How do I know that? Because it's the wand card. All the wands are about creativity. The wands are about new beginnings. As you can see, in every one of the wands, a lot of people say they're sticks. Yes, they are. I prefer to look at them as branches because if you look at them carefully, and I'll put this up a little closer, they have new leaves on them. So with the new leaves, they're new growth. New growth can mean new business, new entrepreneurship. And I'm going to dovetail back to what I started to say with you, Chris. I feel like there's a new job on the horizon for you. I feel like with you, there's something new coming up with you that is totally different than what you're doing now. Because I feel like right now, what you're doing, I just want to do that. Like, oh God, it's a job, but I don't love it. And I think this next thing that's coming along is going to be something that you love, if that makes any sense. Okay? So keep me posted. Keep us all posted because we love hearing that. We love always hearing. Jordan King from Tasmania, Australia. Well, thank you. That's quite a time zone difference, isn't it? Let's see. Jordan King, you're asking, will you get the acting job you applied for? You know, it's funny because as soon as I say that, I'm hearing yes. But I have to almost ask, this is going to sound weird. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Is this more the acting job? Is this like the first job you've taken? Because I feel like this is something to do with commercials, commercial-like acting. I don't know why I'm being told that. So for Jordan King, if you could validate that for me. Oh, it's 11 a.m. there. Well, damn. Good for you. Have some coffee on us. Very pleased that you joined us. Thank you so much. But yes, I do think you're going to get this job. And I think it's going to be beneficial. But they're showing me this is a stepping stone. I pulled the tarot card, the Magician, for you. Magician is all about growth. It's about productivity. It's also about being versatile, being able to do one of many things. The Magician is something I strive to be, but I'm really not. The Magician is a person, when you look at the card carefully, they have all the elements. They've got the pentacles, which represent money. They've got the cups. They've got the wands, the swords, and he's holding, some people call it a candle, some people call it a pen. He's got the infinity sign above his head. So this guy's got it going on. He's got everything at his disposal. The good thing about the Magician card is this means everything is coming to them in the right time. As a magician calls forward each of his acts, so to speak, so will your jobs. They'll come forward in time because I feel like it'll be a trickle effect in the beginning and then boom, it's going to take off, if that makes any sense. So Jordan, if you could verify that for us, that would be fantastic. Featured film, fantastic. When you say featured film, is this like where you're the main part? Because I feel like this is more, and I'm struggling for words because I don't know lingo of film making. Is this like an extra? Is this like a beginning role for you? Maybe is a good way of saying it. Because I feel like this is going to be the jump start role for you, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I do think it's coming. And I think it's gonna be fantastic. And what is it about you and dogs? This goes back to Jordan King. Big dogs, big dogs. Most of you know, for those of you that don't, I'm diabetic and I'm almost colorblind. So I'm going to go, when I say big dogs, I'm going to say like Marmaduke type dogs, like big ass dogs. So Jordan, what is it with you and big dogs? Do you have a big dog? Did you have a big dog? There's something about a big dog that's around you. Great Danes, Pyrenees, those type of dogs, huge. That's fantastic. Lead role, fantastic. Good for you. Good for you. We wish you the best. Do keep us posted, please, 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 please. I'm going to go back to Valerie Negro Freed. How are you, darling? I'm going to pull an angel card for you because as soon as I saw your name, I have to tell you this. It's funny how sometimes when I see names, I see family connections, and your mother's mother is with you. Mother's mother, your grandmother, is with you. And as soon as I saw your name, I thought, oh, snap. And then I heard That's Amore, like the song. And I really wouldn't want to horrify all of you by singing that, but for Valerie Negro Freed, your mother's mother, your grandmother, what is it with her and the song That's Amore? Was that something that she sang? I would have to Google that on my phone, who actually sung that song originally, because she's taking me back to the original group that sung that song, okay? That's Amore. And it wasn't Frankie Valli, was it? No, I don't think it was. Oh, Jordan King, it was a German Shepherd named Shardy. Okay, big ass dog, big dog. So for Valerie Negro Freed, what is it with your grandmom? Grandmom, and That's Amore, the song by the original band that sung that song. Because here we go, I just pulled an angel card for you. Music. So for Valerie, I have to say, music is central to your life, because as soon as I say that, I want to also start rocking, but I also want to say for Valerie Negro Freed, it's almost like music to you is your way of life, almost like when you're home, do you have like Alexa? Like, you know, that little I call it the Amazon thing that you can say, hey, play this, play that, because I feel like they're showing me that you are playing music constantly, but they're also showing me that with your daughter. And when she was younger, I want to emphasize that, younger, toddler, it was like mommy and me music classes. I would not know that, but they're showing me that, like the tambourines, the little rattle things that you would shake. So for Valerie Negro Freed, she always had music playing. Okay, that's perfect, because I do want to say that she's with you 24/7, hence the music card. So when you don't think that you have angels backing you, I want you to call on her, because she's your #1 angel. And there's something about pudding and or pie that she used to say she could do so well. She was more of a baker and not a cook. I love that, because when I talk to angels, it's like, especially women, did you cook or were you a baker? I'm a cook because with me being diabetic, I can't really bake. So I love that. I'm going to back up here and see Becca and Sean. So Becca and Sean, I'm going to grab you and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. So for Becca and Sean, if you're listening, I feel like with you, I'm hitting the tarot, and I feel like there's a new dog coming. A new dog. I don't know if you got a new dog or if you're getting a new dog, but I feel like it's coming. So If you could validate that for me, that would be fantastic. And the card, oh, boom chicka wow wow, is the Lovers. I love this card because let's face it, in today's day and age, we need more love. And the Lovers is all about, it's basically all about finding that soulmate, finding that person that you're with, finding that person that completes you. Is there a perfect love? No, there isn't. But is there a person that can complete you enough that the pros outweigh the cons? Absolutely. Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that. So for Becca and Sean, I want you to know that the Lovers card came up. And do you make each other crazy? Yeah, you do. But what relationship doesn't? Any relationship that screams they're perfect, I run from, because there's no such thing. So just keep that in mind. And I also feel like the other thing, and I just have to say this, so I'm going to scroll down and see if you're answering me. Oh, you don't have one. Okay, no problem, because you know what? He's coming. He's coming. He's on the horizon, girlfriend. And when I say he's coming fast, because this is the one. I feel like you've had to kiss a lot of frogs to find this guy, as we all have. And the guys have had to kiss a lot of frogs to find their princess. So it's a process, but this guy's coming. He's going to complete you, and you're going to know it. And I feel like, in a really weird way, there's going to be a kid involved. I feel like he might even have a kid from a previous marriage. So please keep us posted, because I love love, and I love hearing about love when it happens, because I love to celebrate with other people. I feel like in today's day and age, we should all be celebrating each other and lifting each other up, and not so much putting other people down. So please, if I've read you tonight, please, by all means, keep me posted on anything that I've told you, and let me know how things turn out. Ashley Dascanio, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. You will be my last one for tonight. Ashley Dascanio. Anything I can tell you? Interestingly, I'm going to bring it through, because I'd be shitty if I didn't. But I don't know. This is for Ashley Dascanio. When you were younger, what is it about a pet? Rodent. Best guess, I'm going to say this is a hamster. Goes back to like when you were 5 to 8. So for Ashley Dascanio, I don't think this was a rat. I don't think this was a rat. I think this could have been a gerbil. It has a tail, and it's kind of freaking me out. So could you just let me know if this, and it's a male, if you could let me know if this was yours or your brother's, because I think this wasn't yours directly, but he's coming through. This rodent, and I don't like rodents. So if you could just let me know. But the card I pulled for you is the Ten of Cups. I love the Ten of Cups. It means happy family, happy life. Is life difficult? Hell yeah. Anyone who sits there and says it's not difficult, they're lying. Life is very difficult. It's got ups, it's got downs, it ebbs and it flows. There are some days, my kids will tell you, and even my best friends will tell you, there are some days I still, to this day, have a good ugly cry about my dad who died in February. It's tough. It's tough. And then there are other days I'm like, let's take helium balloons and write notes to my dad and send it off to my dad in heaven. Yeah, there are good days and bad days. And you know what? That's what life is all about. This is about happy family, happy life. So for you, I want you to know this is coming. Do you have trials? Do you have tribulations? Absolutely. Do you feel like you want to walk out that door at times and just throw in the towel? Yep. Yep. I'd be lying if I told you anything any differently. But I feel like At the same time, there will be more kids. And I say that cautiously because I feel like when the time is right, you will have more kids. So that pretty much is our time for tonight. I hope I've blessed everyone. I will not be reading, let me see, I'm just looking at my calendar. No, I will be reading next Thursday. It's the following Thursday I won't be reading. So next Thursday we'll all be getting together again. Think about your questions. Let me know how you're doing with your exercises, because I'm not getting any feedback on that, which is why I'm not throwing out any more information at you. So we talked about keeping a notebook by your bedside, waking up in the mornings, and pretty much in the mornings, come on, waking up in the mornings and writing down 3 things that you predict for the day. When you go to bed, look at those 3 predictions. What came true, put a check mark next to it. You have to do this consistently. We talked about getting a partner, thinking of a number between 1 and 10, and then mentally telepathy, sending them that number. Everything is energy. Do it enough times, they'll start to get the number. We also talked about colors. You can do this with colors, basic colors. We also talked about putting different shapes in an envelope, a privacy envelope, one shape at a time, having them hand you the envelope, and then you feel the envelope like this and try to feel the shape of what's in the envelope. And I feel like there was something else. Oh, see if you could think about, the 5th exercise was thinking of a sound such as chiming wedding bells for 5 full minutes. And the purpose is to train your mind to get into that state of homeostasis where all you hear for 5 minutes, and you can use your cell phones for this, is basically just hearing the wedding bells. You can do rain, you can do an ocean sound, and you can't use an outside source. You have to visualize the sound in your mind. And every time your mind gets distracted, such as, did I feed the kids today? Wrap that thought in a red imaginary helium balloon, send it up to the sky, and go back to your sound again. And you will find that by doing this for 5 or 10 minutes a day, you'll be able to focus and hone in your thinking. That 5 minutes will go by so fast, you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't have to use any red balloons. So start giving me feedback, because I have a lot more exercises I want to give you, but I haven't gotten any feedback, so I don't know where you stand on these exercises, okay? In the meantime, I'm a big believer in random acts of kindness, and the state of our world is just kind of crazy. So as we go into the next week, be good to yourself and each other. Love and light to you all. Have a great day. Bye.